Welcome to House of Hell, a fighting fantasy choose your own adventure, you are the hero book by Steve Jackson. We are going to start at the start. A very good place to start. The rain spatters the windscreen relentlessly. You can see no more than a watery gloom as you strain forwards over the steering wheel to see the road ahead. Although the wipers flap valiantly, they are fighting a losing battle, as the rain drives harder and harder. Your foot eases off the accelerator. The headlights struggle to light up the road. Damn! You curse the white-haired old man who sent you off this bumpy track. Probably he meant the second turning on the left, or even a right turning. The old fool. Perhaps this is his idea of a joke. After all, didn't you notice a mischievous glint in his eye? Something vaguely sinister? But what sort of nonsense is this? So you've taken a wrong turn and got caught in a downpour in the night. The rain will ease off soon. It can't possibly keep up this deluge for long. And then you'll be able to... Watch out! You spin the wheel frantically to the left to avoid the figure who, from nowhere, shows up in the headlights. The car bumps and jolts as it bounces over a rocky roadside and thumps into a ditch. You collect your thoughts. You are unhurt, but shaken. Then you remember what's happened. The body! You must have hit the figure which appeared. There was no way you could have avoided him. You spring out of the car, praying that he's alive. Your clothes soak up the rain as you hobble back to the road. In the darkness, it is difficult to see anything, but there's no sign of a body. You consider the situation. Are you certain that it was someone and not a trick of the light? Well, yes, you can remember the arms held up in fright as the car collided, and the look of anguish on his face. His face! There was something familiar about that face. A man you recognized. An old man, with white hair. Your heart leaps. No, impossible! With a shiver of fear, you race back to the car and jump inside, force the key into the ignition and twist it violently. The starter coughs, splutters, and dies. You hit the key again, but this time a single shudder is all the engine can manage. You grasp the wheel with your hands and shake it desperately as if to force some life into the car, but the battery's dead. Your car is certainly not budging from the ditch tonight. Your situation is hopeless, but now the plight of your car is paramount. Where can you get help? You pass the garage at Mingleford, but that was some 20 miles away. As if in answer, a light appears in the distance. Someone has switched on a bedroom light. What a stroke of luck. It was at least 15 miles back that you passed the last house, and you happen to have broken down just short distance from somebody's home. You button up your coat and open the door. From outside the car you can see the building more clearly. Just ahead, on the left, a drive winds up to a large house. It is a good 5 minutes walk away, and by the time you reach it, you will be drenched. But how else can you call the garage? You can't afford to miss tomorrow's appointment. No, go on you must. Anyway, you'll probably be able to dry off inside after phoning the garage. You slam the door, turn up your collar, and set off for the house. A flash of lightning lights it up clearly for you. But in your preoccupation with the rain, the warning from above is wasted on you. The house is old, very old, and in a shocking state of repair. The light in the window is flickering, most likely an oil lamp, certainly not electric. And you don't notice a fact that might have turned you back anyway. There is no telephone line going to the house. As you climb the steps to the front door, little do you realize what fate has in store for you. Tonight is going to be a night to remember. Just get your mobile out. Just get your mobile phone out. What's the what, is your phone dead? Like, you don't need a telephone line. When was this book written? Engine had a goat in it. Oh no, Frank. Hit the starter with a hammer. Good temporary fix. Yeah, easy peasy. Your adventure awaits. May your stamina never fail. Now turn over. Do I have to make my character first? I kind of skipped over the how will you start your blah blah blah. If you're new to fighting fantasy, blah blah blah. If you've played it before, blah blah blah. You create your own character by following the instructions on page 216. And enter your details on 225. Alright. Before we start page 1, we need to actually have our character. created. How to fight the creatures of the House of Hell. Wait, there's going to be creatures to fight? I didn't realise that. I thought it was going to be a lovely little jaunt into the House of Hell. Roll a die and add 6 to the number and enter the total in the skill box. This is your initial... Oh, man. Oh, no. I'm just remembering now how much stamina and skill played into the game last time we played one of these. Skill and having a high skill and high stamina was like vital to actually winning the game, to actually getting through the book without dying. So I guess it all comes down to the first roll of the dice. Roll 1 die, add 6 to the number, and enter the total in the skill box. You ready? Here's the dice. I've gone with a Mel dice. 4, not bad at all. 4 is we've got a 10 in skill. That is going to be useful for us. Have a higher than average skill. Okay. Then we've got the in this adventure your starting skill is less because you are unarmed, but you'll have the opportunity to arm yourself. Oh, interesting. Oh, so we start with a 10 in skill but can get higher. Roll both of your dice. So now I'll add to it the Alan's metal white dice that we tease him about. Add both your dice. Add 12 to the number rolled and add this total in the stamina box. Let's roll high on this one, I reckon. Oh, yeah, boy! A 6 and a 5. A 6 and a 5 plus 12 makes 23. Oh, 23. We've got all the stamina. All the stamina in the world. Okay, and then lastly, there is also a luck box. Roll 1 die, add 6 to the number, and enter the total in the luck box. Let me use a different dice. Let me use one of Apus's dice. And that is a rolled off the table 5. Yeah, boy! 5 plus 6 is 11. Luck. We are lucky, 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 luck. Alright. Ooh, there's a fear box. Ooh, show on that. For reasons that will be explained below, skill, stamina, and luck scores change constantly during an adventure. You must keep the record of the blah-de-blah, blah, 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 blah. Never wrote about your initial scores. Although you may be awarded additional stamina and skill and luck points, these totals may never exceed your initial scores, except on rare occasions, blah, blah, blah. Your skill is your general fighting expertise, higher the better. Stamina is your general constitution, your will to survive, your health essentially. And your luck indicates how naturally lucky you are. Battling, you'll roll both dice, blah blah blah. Fear, you'll blah blah blah. Oh wait, no, fear's not a blah blah blah, because that's something that wasn't in the previous book. As well as surviving your adventure by ensuring that your stamina never drops to 0, in House of Hell you must also avoid being frightened to death. Before you begin your adventure, roll 1 die and add 6 to the result. The total will give you the maximum fear score that you can bear. How easily frightened are we? Let's go with Apus's other dice. 4. We are doing well. Above average on everything. Man, I am amazing at rolling dice. There is never any evidence to the contrary. Roll 1 dice and add 6. This is your maximum fear score that you can bear. Your fear score is the number of points you can take before being frightened to death. During your adventure, you'll come across situations where you must, for example, add 1 or 2, etc. fear points. Your fear score starts at 0, and you must add fear points as instructed in the text. If your fear score reaches the maximum as rolled initially, then you are frightened to death and must end your adventure. Note that fear works in the opposite way to normal skill, stamina, and luck scores. You start with 0 and increase, rather than subtracting. Escaping. On some pages you may be given the option of running away from a battle should things be going badly for you. However, if you do run away, the creature automatically gets in 1 wound on you for 2 stamina points. Such is the price of cowardice. Note that you may use luck on the wound in the normal way to reduce it in half, blah blah blah. You may only escape if that option is specifically given to you on the page. Fighting more than 1 creature, treat them as a single monster, blah blah blah. Weapons, blah 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 blah. Luck, blah 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 blah. Using luck in battles, blah 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 blah. Restoring skill, stamina, luck, and fear. It can change During your adventure, it can increase if you find a weapon. Your stamina will drain as you fight creatures, blah blah blah. Your luck will run out as you must deduct luck, blah blah blah. Your fear is built up, yada yada. Occasionally, when you get the opportunity to relax, the text may instruct you to deduct points from your fear score. Note that any bonuses you are awarded can never be used to exceed your blah blah blah, yada yada yada. Hints on play. There is one true way through the House of Hell, and it will take you several attempts to find it. Make notes and draw a map as you explore. This map will be invaluable in future adventures to enable you to progress rapidly through to unexplored sections. Remember to make a note of any advice you receive and write down any messages or special reference numbers you are given. Some rooms are death traps and others are chambers of horror. Be warned. It will be realized that entries make no sense if read in numerical order. It is essentially you read only the entries you are instructed to read. The one true way involves a minimum of risk, and any player, no matter how weak on initial dice rolls, should be able to get through fairly easily. Okay. May the power of good go with you, it says. Alright. There is one true way through, which means that just like the City of Thieves piece of shit, it will just straight up hard lock things behind you turned left instead of right. There was nothing, you had a straight up 50-50 chance with no hints as to which one was the right way to go, which one was the wrong way to go. But if you choose to go left instead of right, or into that house, into that room instead of not into that room, sometimes the game will just be like, well, that's it. You're guaranteed to lose now. So knowing that going into the book, I'm sure I'll be fine. I'm sure I'll be able to, I'll be like, okay, I'm going into a book that has locked set path that will not give me hints as to which path is the correct path, and it is just a matter of luck as to whether or not I happen to choose that book or not. Okay. The game is now how many times can Rob die? The game is, can Rob find all of the ways to die before he finds the way through it? Chapter 1. You climb the creaking steps up to the front door and pause to catch your breath. Even though you ran all the way up the drive from your car, you are still soaked through. Your feet are particularly wet. Judging by the number of puddles you stepped into in the dark, the drive needs a small fortune spending on repairs. But under the porch you are out of the storm, and you brush the rain from your clothes before turning towards the door. The rain is still pelting down, but an eerie silence hangs in the air. No lights are on downstairs. You step back off the porch to check the upstairs window which attracted your attention earlier. Nothing. No lights. The whole place seems to be deserted. But then you remember the time. 5 minutes to midnight. Everyone in the house has probably gone to bed. An owl hoots in the distance, and a shiver runs down your spine. The situation is a little scary. Here you are in the middle of nowhere at some strange run-down old house, about to wake up whoever lives inside. At midnight. They certainly won't be too pleased. But you have no choice if you're going to make your appointment tomorrow. You must reach a telephone to call for help. You step up to the front door. From the left-hand side of the house, a dull glow catches your attention. A light has been turned on. You breathe a sigh of relief. At least someone is awake. You consider your options. There is an elaborate knocker in the middle of the door, and a bell pull hanging down to the right. Will you rap the door with the knocker, or pull the cord, or creep round the house to investigate the light? Got 3 options, everybody. What are we doing? Rap on the knocker, pull on the cord, or creep round the house to investigate the light. It's very Rocky Horror. It is very Rocky Horror, yes. Rap on the knocker, investigate the light. Rap on the knocker, investigate. Rap, pull, creep, investigate, creep, rap. All right, it's definitely creep or rap. Let's creep or rap. We're gonna go with odds for creep, evens for rap. Creep. Creep it is. Creep around the house to investigate. Turn to 289. I'm gonna start taking notes. So, we started at 1 and decided to go to 289. Oh, jeez. Some scary things in this book already. Flicking through them. Rob's been defeated by a shoe. You walk from the porch round the side of the house. A light is indeed on, and it's shining through a window at the back of the building. Do you wish to go round to see if you can see anything at this window? Or will you walk up to one of the other windows along the side wall to see whether you can enter the house without anyone knowing? Do you want to go round the back of the house to see if we can see anything at the back window through which the light is shining? Or do we want to walk up to one of the other windows to see if we can enter the house without anyone knowing? Back of the house, back of the house, back of the house, other window, window. Got 3 back of the house and 2 other window. Other window. We're going 3 and 3. We're split down the middle, going to the back of the house or trying to sneak into the house. Next one will take it. Oh, we got window and back of the house came in at the same time, so back of the house is now 5 to 4. That's 6 to 4. We got back of the house 6 to 4. Ooh, last second. Sneak in, so 6 to 5. 7 to 5. You guys are pretty close. 7 to 5, last few seconds. And back of the house takes it. Alright. We are going to go around the back of the house to 345. 345. The lit window is next to a back door, which leads into a kitchen. Voices are coming from the kitchen, but you cannot see anyone. Whoever is in there must be standing by the back wall, out of sight. You strain to hear what is being said. There appear to be 2 people in the kitchen, and they are talking excitedly.
Master is getting ready. I'm starting to get excited. I've never been to one before. Do you really think we may be visited?
Another man's voice, rather more controlled, replies,
You know, I'm having doubts about this whole affair. She is so young and she came here in all innocence. I just don't know.
The 2 men walk around the kitchen and you can now see them more clearly. They are both dressed in white gowns. One is a good deal younger than the other. Do you wish to knock on the door to see whether they will let you in, or will you wait and listen for a little bit longer? Knock. Put your thumbs up for knock. Put your thumbs down for listen. Ooh, people saying down, down, da 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 down. Sugar, we're standing here listening. Alright, we're going to stand here for a little bit longer and listen for turning to page 68. 68. The younger man turns to the older one and angrily says,
The Master's teachings are not for the faint-hearted. You know of his power and his promises to us all. Perhaps you are no longer strong enough to stay with us.
The older man turns away towards the window. He is hiding the look on his face, which is one of nervousness and fear. He realizes that he said the wrong thing.
No,
He stammers.
I'll be all right. Just a momentary weakness. Come, let us get on with our preparations.
Together the 2 men leave the kitchen, blowing out the candles on the way. You wonder what they were talking about. Now you must choose your next move. Will you try the kitchen door to see whether you can sneak inside, or go back around the front and knock on the door? Let's go thumbs up for knock on the kitchen door. Try the kitchen door to sneak inside, and thumbs down for go around the front and knock on the door. Try the door. There's quite a lot of trying the door, but it's a little bit harder to tell. What we got? We got 3, 4, 4 to 3, 5 to 3, 6 to 3, 6 to 4. We've definitely got the yeses having it. So we're going to try the door. Going to try the door, turning to 306. 306. The door is firmly locked. You will not enter the house this way. If you wish, you can knock at the door to try and attract the attention of the 2 men who are talking. If you decide to do this, you must test your luck. If you are lucky, they will hear you and come to investigate. If you are unlucky, they are out of earshot and will not get through this way. If you decide against knocking at the door, or if you've been unlucky, you will have to go back to the front door and either knock or pull the bell pull. All right, so we can knock on the door and test our luck, or we can go back to the front door and either knock or pull the bell. So we've got 3 different options, it seems. Knock on the back door, knock on the front door, or pull the bell pull at the front door. That's the options. So we can't do a yes/no for this one. You're just gonna have to tell me in words. Knock on the back door, knock on the front door, or pull the bell pull. If we are knocking on the back door, we would test our luck. And to test luck means to roll 2d6 and you have to get the number of your luck or less. And our luck is 11. And if we succeed, our luck goes down by 1 because you're using up your luck. You may call on your luck to make the outcome more favourable, but luck is a risky business. Procedure for using your luck is to follow. Roll 2 dice, and if the number rolled is equal to or less than your current score, you have been lucky and the result goes in your favour. Testing your luck. Each time you test your luck, you subtract a point from your luck score. Alright, so what are we saying? We're saying pull the thing, front door and knock, back door. So that's literally one for every one of them. Great. Knock at the front door, knock at the front door, pull the bell, knock at the front door, knock at the back door, knock at the back door, pull the bell, front door. To make it look like we weren't sneaking, knock on the front door. I think knock on the front door just has it, but not by much. Alright, so where was I? 306. 306, there it is. And we decided to not use up our luck to just knock on a fucking door, thank God. We're instead going to go and knock on the front door, which is 357. So going back to the front to knock on the front door, 357. Next page, come on. Ooh, Jesus. A few moments later, the door handle turns slowly and the door opens. So you go back to the front and... The door handle turns slowly and the door opens. Standing in the doorway is a tall man dressed in a dark suit with tails. His long face is solemn.
Yes?
He asks indignantly. You smile nervously and explain your situation. Your car has broken down and you need to reach a telephone and you're soaked to the skin. The man's face remains expressionless. Come in, he orders. The master is expecting you. Follow me. He leads you into a reception hall and tells you to sit down while he informs his master of your arrival. Turn to page 8. How about give me the option to turn the fuck around and run away into the forest? Because if I go to a creepy ass house in the middle of the woods at midnight while it's raining and then I hear some people talking about a sacrifice through the back window, and then I knock on the creepy door, and an even creepier person answers the creepy door and tells me that the master is waiting for me, expecting me, I'm not going to follow him into his house. I'm going to turn around and leave. I'm going to fucking walk the 15 miles back to the previous house that I saw. Sounds fine. They're probably lovely. If you die 4 pages in. To select that option, defenestrate the book. Alright, let's see what we got. Turn to page 8, it said. You sit down in a solid carved chair and look around. The reception hall is certainly not what you would have expected from the outside. It's elegantly decorated with rich tapestries and fine oak panels. A number of portraits line the walls. A sturdy 16th century table is set against one wall. Will you wait for your host to arrive, study the paintings, or hunt for a telephone? Those are our options. Wait for the host, study the paintings, or hunt for a telephone. Why would you knock to run as soon as it opens? Because of who opened it. Study the paintings, 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 wait for the host, study the paintings, study the paintings. We're definitely studying the paintings, it seems. Turn to page 304. 304. Alright. Where am I at with the 304? Three portraits are particularly interesting. Will you look at a beautiful young woman wearing a tiara, a middle-aged portly gentleman wearing half-moon glasses, or an elderly woman with grey hair and a cold expression? Those choices again were a beautiful young woman wearing a tiara, a middle-aged portly gentleman wearing half-moon glasses, or an elderly woman with grey hair and a cold expression. Yeah, everybody's going old lady. Not everybody, but you know. Most of you going old lady with the grey hair and the cold expression. Turn to page 250. Old lady with the expression, 250. You step up to a portrait of the Duchess of Brewster, 1777 to 1845. She looks a stern old woman with an icy stare, a lady of the nobility, no mistake. But as you stare, her image seems to shimmer. You blink and try to look away, but you cannot. Within the shimmering face you can see small movements, and your jaw drops as the portrait's eyes turn towards you. Add 1 fear point for the fright. The woman's lips start to move, and you hear a voice saying,
"Stranger, you have innocently stumbled into a cursed place. Would that I could bid you escape, but alas, you cannot. There is evil and suffering within these walls, and you may only escape by destroying it, but that is almost impossible. I can tell you this, though. You have an ally close by who may be able to help. This man is dressed in a grey robe. If you can find him, you may together free this house from the evil that controls it."
With these words, the shimmering stops. You rub your eyes and look again. The painting is still. Turn to 277. What am I doing? I'm turning to the end to get my fright up 1. My fear is now at 1. I feel like it should be higher than 1. As soon as a creepy old man answers the door at midnight at a random house I've never been to and says the master's been waiting for me, that's a 1 on fear immediately. I'm upset that there was a painting of a handsome man. Was he handsome, though? Didn't he say like a middle-aged, portly gentleman? A grey robe. Must have just gotten out of the shower. Maybe you're just drunk. Not even frightening. All right, you rub your eyes and look again. The painting is still. Turn to 277. Footsteps! Someone is coming! The tall man you met earlier walks in, opening the door for another tall man dressed in a purple smoking jacket.
"May I present Lord Kelnor, the Earl of Druma," the butler announces. The Earl holds out his hand and you shake it. His grip is strong and his eyes pierce yours. His lips widen to a soft smile. You begin to tell him of your predicament, but he holds up his hand. "Please, I can see that you have been caught up in this filthy storm. Let us sit by the fire and we will see whether we can help. Franklins, tell the cook to prepare some food for our visitor." You protest that you do not wish to be any trouble, but your host ignores you and leads you into a drawing room where a fire is burning. You take off your coat and sit down. The heat of the fire makes you feel comfortable once more. Franklin's returns with 2 glasses of brandy. Will you relax, drink the brandy, and ask if you can use the telephone, or will you wait to see what he asks of you? Will you throw the brandy in his face, get up and run out of this scary-ass building? This is the guy, this is your host and the butler, by the way, for those watching. All right, we'll put a thumbs up for drink the brandy, bottoms up, thumbs up, or thumbs down for sit down and wait for him to ask you something. Bottoms up, thumbs up, or sit down, thumbs down. All right, you're down the middle on it, so odds and evens. Odds is the first one, which is drink the brandy, and evens, which is what I rolled, is the wait to see what he asks you. All right, so you wait, you sit and wait to see what he asks you. Turn to page 111.
We arrived at a scary house in a storm and we knocked and got led in by a scary man. Yeah. We went round the back first. We went round the back and listened at the kitchen window where there was a couple of guys seemingly talking about preparations for a visit. Like they're going to perform a ritual sacrifice and make something from another plane visit them, is what I thought. Something like that, maybe. Alright, turn to page 111. Sit and wait for him to ask you something. Your host is a little annoyed by your nervousness. Come, he says. There's no need to be afraid. Has your little accident caused you to lose your nerve? Drink your brandy. You'll soon forget your fears. As you watch him, your mind begins to play tricks on you. Is his expression one of genuine concern for your welfare, or is there a hint of something secretive in his eyes and smile? You shiver, and your fear of the situation is evident. Add 1 fear point. A short while later, Franklin's appears. Your meal is served, sir, he says to the Earl. You both rise and go through to the dining room. Why? Why are you dining with this guy? We've got 2 points of fear already. Turn to page 309. Turn to page 309. We've already got 304, 306, and 309. Let me just add a fear point real quick to the back here. You'd think that they would have put the character sheet. This is the argument I had with the last one. Either put it on the very back page or the very front page so that you can find it easily enough. Not like 7 pages in from the back where you have to turn to it each time. I might do that thing that people hate and dog-ear this particular section. Because it's my book, so I can do what I want. There we go. I've dog-eared it. I like the dog-ears flow through you. Alright. Where am I turning? 309. 309. The dining room looks magnificent. A long table stretches between 2 fine chairs and is laid with gleaming silver cutlery. A rich red wallpaper covers the walls and the room is lit by a sparkling chandelier, bristling with candles, which hangs from the ceiling. Where was this light from the outside? It must be an internal, landlocked room, as it were. You take your seat, and the butler moves behind you to offer you wine. Will you take white wine or red wine? You didn't drink brandy, but you're going to take wine, apparently. Do you want white wine or red wine? Thumbs up for white wine, thumbs down for red wine, because the thumbs down has the red no on it. Surely it's a matter of what meal we're having, right? Don't you have one with fish and one with something else? I don't know. I don't drink wine, so I don't know. I take the wine without the human blood in it, please. It looks to be pretty even here. Maybe a little towards the white. It's ever so slightly towards the white, I think. Raisins in the wine? It'll make it better? Yeah, raisins make everything better. Alright, let's take the white wine. Turn to page 269. 269 for white wine. Nice. Oh, the 270 begins with, you hurl the garlic at the vampire. So, maybe keep that in mind. 269. The wine is dry and light. Obviously a very expensive vintage. But there is a puzzling aftertaste which you cannot place. The wine is dry and light, obviously a very expensive vintage, but there's a puzzling aftertaste which you cannot place. Perhaps there's a little sediment in the decanter? No, the taste is more like aspirin. Ah, too late, you realise that your wine has been drugged. You start to raise yourself from the table. Who could have thought it? Who could have predicted that you shouldn't have taken some sort of drink from this stranger that keeps trying to give you drink at every opportunity? He said 3 things to you, and 2 of them have been, drink this alcohol. Your wine has been drugged. You start to raise yourself from the table, but the effects are already taking hold. You stumble, fall back, and crash to the floor. Consciousness fades. Turn to page 173. He immediately kills you. The end. They wouldn't let us say no. Surprised Pikachu face. Yeah, the wine certainly calmed our nerves. To the point of unconsciousness. You open your eyes. Your head is spinning, and it is some time before you are fully aware of the fact your hands and feet are bound. The room you are in is empty, but you work out a plan. You will hop over to the window, break the glass, and use it to cut yourself free. Pulling yourself to your feet is awkward, but you manage it, and with a mixture of hops and shuffles, you arrive at the window. Outside, the wind is blowing the rain against the window panes. Will you go ahead and smash the window with your hands, something of a risky business, or will you instead test your luck? If you want to test your luck, turn to 136. If you do not wish to use your luck here, turn to 360. So do we want to use one of our points of luck to test our luck? We'd most likely survive to succeed at the whatever it is that we're testing our luck at, but we would lose a point of luck in doing so. So do we want to test our luck, put a thumbs up emote or a lucky horseshoe emote if you've got them? If you want to instead just use your hands and smash the window with that, pretty risky because you could slash your wrists, I imagine. Put your thumbs down. Since we can't smash it with our face, let's use our hands. Alright, lots of thumbs up or testing luck. So yes, we are going to test our luck. Turn to 136. 136. And I'm going to put an L next to it for testing our luck. Hey, it actually worked this time. Alright, 136. Were you lucky or unlucky? If you were lucky, you managed to escape the splintering glass without harm. If you were unlucky, the glass cut your wrist, lose 2 stamina points, and turn to 317. So either way, we're going to turn to 317. So let me jot that down. 317. But it's just whether we are lucky enough to escape without any harm. I'm going to take 2d6. We're going to roll, and we need an 11 or less. That is a 3, so we are successful, and we turn to 317 without harming ourselves. However, we do lose a point of luck. Also, having a conversation with the creepy dude gained us a point of fear. Waking up drugged and bound in a creepy dude's house did not give us a point of fear. Just want to point that out. Alright, we are down to 10 luck. Also, in the City of Thieves, we got to start with a potion that could restore our luck at any time, and this time, no such potions, no such items. Alright, 317. 317. You cut yourself free and massage your wrists to get the circulation moving again. Then you walk over to the door to try it. It is not locked. You try the handle, opening it a little, and look outside. The room is on the first floor landing. Facing the door is a balustrade, and looking out over the banisters you can see the entrance hall below. To your left there are 2 doors in the corner of the landing, which runs along to the right. If you come in. So, alright. Theatre of the mind, here we go. Your room is on a first floor landing. Facing the door is a balustrade. Looking over the banisters you can see the entrance hall below. To your left, 2 doors in the corner of the landing, which runs along to the right. To your left, there are 2 doors in the corner of the landing which runs along to the right. Which right? Like a corner and then it turns to the right. If you wish to go this way, turn to page 287. Looking to your right, a landing runs past another door and then turns to the left. Okay. So we are on we're in like the center wall, and there are 2 doors to our left and 1 door to our right. It doesn't say that you can look out ahead and be like, where are the stairs down into the lobby? Alright, let's go. Thumbs up to go to the right, thumbs down to go to the left. Thumbs up to the right, thumbs down to the left. Let's go with that. We've already accepted our fate, so there's no extra fear. Yeah. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Alright, we're gonna roll it. Odds, we're going left. Evens, we're going right. Evens it is, we're going right. To go this way, turn to page 33. So we're going to go to our right towards the single door, and that might have just killed us because of how the book seems to be written. From how it told us that there's like one true path through this thing, you might have just by choosing to go around the back instead of pulling the bell pull. That might have been like, nah, there's no way doing it. There's no way of succeeding when you pull the bell or knock on the door. Because that's a good story. Alright, a short distance further along the balcony, you arrive at a door with Azazel written on it on the nameplate. Azazel, or Azazel, or Azazel, or Azazel, or Azazel. Not another one of those that's doomed from the start. That is how this book is written, yeah. If you wish to try the door with Azazel written on it, turn to 358. If you want to prefer to continue turning to the left and following the landing round, turn to 229. Alright, what do you think? Do we want to try the door? Yes or no? If we do not try the door, we continue on along the corridor. So thumbs up, thumbs down. Yes, try the door. No, continue along the corridor. Might be the grey robe man. It might be. Azazel is some kind of devil. It does sound like a devil's name. I don't know what mythology it's from, but I do seem to recognize it. Yes, try all the doors, because one of them might be just like, you needed to go into that door and you didn't, so therefore you don't get to win the book. Actually, no. You're just putting both crunchy. Yes, no. Actually, yes, no. Man, you guys suck at making unanimous decisions in this particular book. And we've got 2 yeses, 2 nos, a yes and a no. You're literally 50-50. Are you doing this on purpose? You're literally 50-50 to the number. All right. 6. So odds and evens. I always go odds first because 1 is first. Although 0 is an even. That's first. It depends if you count from 0 or count from 1. So. Of the positive integers, the odd number is first. What number was I on? 33. The first option was try the door. So that is not the option we're going with. We're going with continue along the landing. 229. 229. Don't try the door to Azazel. 229. You follow the landing round until you reach another door on the right-hand side. A nameplate identifies this one as the Erasmus Room. Do you wish to enter the Erasmus Room? Or, ahead of you, at the end of the passageway, is another door. If you wish to go there, turn to 332. So, we've passed Azazel. We came out of one room. We went to our right. We passed Azazel, and now we're at Erasmus. And then there's another door ahead of us. Do we want to go to Erasmus or go to the end of the corridor? Let's put thumbs up for enter Erasmus. Thumbs down for continue to the last door. The next door, down to the next door, down to the next door. Making it very difficult. I think the yeses have it this time. I guess we have to choose a door eventually. Alright, I think the yeses just eked in on this one. If you wish to enter the room, turn to 140. Alright, we tested luck 140 and we sorry, we didn't test luck this time, but I'm just remembering in my notes that we tested luck before. You grasp the handle and turn it. The door is locked. Oh, for fuck's sake, don't give me the fucking option then. It looks too sturdy for you to break down. Will you turn towards the door at the end of the corridor or go back the way you came, carrying on past the room which you originally appeared? Jesus Christ. Erasmus is locked, everybody. Why did it give us the option and waste our time? I don't know. We've got an option to continue on this corridor or now go down the other end of the corridor. Do we want to continue and get to the last room of this corridor? At least we can map the place out and see what we've got. Or do we want to go back where we came from? Continue, 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 continue. Alright, we'll continue down the end of the corridor. Turn to 332. 332. 332. 332. Alright, 332. At the end of the corridor ahead of you is a stout wooden door. While you are considering whether or not to try this room, a noise behind you startles you. Bah! You spin around, only to find that the wind is rustling wall hangings. There is nothing to be afraid of. Yeah. Nothing to be afraid of when the wind rustles wall hangings. In a creepy house after midnight where you've just been drugged. Yeah, nothing to be afraid of. The wind does not increase fear, so I guess there is nothing to be afraid of. You turn back. After turning... So, yeah, you get the classic jump scare. You turn round, the wind is just rustling the wall hangings, nothing to be afraid of. You turn back and are amazed to find a faint white figure has appeared in front of you. This apparition is a young woman in her early 20s with long flowing hair. She is dressed in a white bridal dress which has seen better days. It is ripped and torn. This is her. A bridal ghost.
Oh, thank God I have found you in time, she says. I must talk to you immediately. Come, let us go into this room.
Will you follow her into the room? Or do you suspect it's a trap and would rather turn back? Whichever you choose, you must add 1 fear point for the encounter. So we add a fear point, and do we want to follow her into the room? Thumbs up for yes, follow her into the room. Thumbs down for no, it's a trap, turn around and run away. It is a white bridal dress girl, early 20s. She seems grateful to have seen you and found you here. Miss Havisham, what are you doing here? The yeses have it. Yeah, the yeses have it for sure. Alright, yeses have it, so we are going to follow her into the room, 73, and hope that she is an actual friend and not a trap. 73! To enter the room, she passes right through the door. You, of course, must use more traditional methods. You turn the handle and walk into the Apollyon room. Like Apollo, but put an Y before the O and an N after the O. Apollyon. Apollyon, maybe. You walk into the Apollyon room. So, somebody keeping track for me. We've got the Apollyon room down the end of the corridor. We've got the Erasmus room. We've got the Azazel room. And then we've got the room that we came out of. And then we've got 2 other unnamed rooms in the corner over there. You got it? I'm gonna make a little note of that. I'm gonna say us here. And then we've got 1 more there and 1 more here we don't know about. And then we've got Azazel. And then we've got another one that's Erasmus. And then this one down the end of the corridor is the Apollyon. Apollyon room. Somewhat like that. Ouch, my arm. You walk into the Apollyon room. It's an elegant bedroom. Fine floor-length curtains hang along one of the walls. An enormous bed with lace coverings is against another wall, and opposite stands a beautiful dressing table with a huge mirror. The woman hovers in the centre of the room and bids you to sit down on the bed.
Your coming here has been no accident, she starts, and I must warn you of the terrible dangers you will face here. This house is ruled by the Master, a powerful black priest of the night named Kelnor, Earl of Druma. I would guess that you are to be offered to the demons of hellfire, if you survive that long. Yesterday they trapped a girl, a pretty young district nurse who happened to call. She is to be offered tonight. I cannot let this devilry continue. There must be some way it can be stopped. If you can find the Chris knife, you might defeat Kelnor, for this weapon is his only weakness. Please help me. You will probably find it in... No! Quick! We are discovered! I can hear the hounds! Go! Leave this room!
You stand up. She was right. You can hear barking getting rapidly closer. She motions to you, pointing at the door. You run to the door and peer outside. Nothing. The barking gets louder and you turn back towards the ghost, who seems to be struggling with something. She's involved in a fight with 2 huge ghostly Great Danes which are snapping and clawing at her. You take a step forwards, but it's hopeless. You cannot help, as you cannot even touch the beasts. And your help would have been very welcome, because the dogs are much too powerful for her. She is weakening, and as she does so, her image fades. Moments later, she disappears completely. Satisfied that their job has been done, the 2 Great Danes disappear also. You are alone. Now what will you do? Do you want to help her as she asked? Turn to 257. Or would you rather just escape from the house? Turn to 346. So, she told us that the Master is a powerful black priest of the night named Kelnor, Earl of Druma, and his only weakness is the Chris knife, K-R-I-S knife. And you can find it in... No, quick, escape. Blah, blah, blah. Alright. So, our options are, do we try and find the Chris knife, or do we just escape from the house? What do you guys think? Rescue. Definitely need that knife. We get that knife. We need to escape. I want to escape, but think we should help. Do we want to save that nurse? Knife time. Get a weapon. Get the knife. Yeah, most people saying help. Get the knife. All right. So we are going to try and help her get the knife. That is 257. Tell you what it should be. On a situation like that, it should say, if you have over X amount of fear by this point, you must try and escape. Like, you must be too frightened to stick around and help, and so you have to escape. That would be a good use of the fear mechanic, to be like, you can't choose that option anymore because you're too frightened. Turn to page 340. No, turn to page 257. 257. You consider your best plan as you walk down the passageway. You turn right along the landing, and 2 doors are on your left. The first has Azazel written on its nameplate, and the second, Mephisto. Mephisto must be the room that we came from, by nature. The Mephisto room. Do you want to try either of these rooms? If so, you may enter the Azazel room by turning to this page, or the Mephisto room by turning to this page. Otherwise, you may pass both these rooms and walk along to where the landing turns right again. So, try the Azazel room. Try the Mephisto room, which is the room we came from. Or it should be, at least, if it's written well. Or continue on to the next rooms after those rooms. What do you think? This feels like one of those moral stories where you get punished for being a piece of shit, so we better help. Love it when the community goal is choose your own Rob Rages. I mean endings. Some of you want to see the Mephisto room just to see if the room is written the book is written in a way that it should be, because you want me to rage. I can see what you're doing. A bunch of you want to go to Mephisto because you know that if the book is written as if it's a completely different room and it's not a room we've been to, I'm going to rage. How do you spell Mephisto? What number are we on? 257. Mephisto. Mephisto? Mephistopheles is another name for the devil or Satan. Metagaming Rod Rage, please. Alright, Mephisto room it is. That is 298. So we are going to ignore the Azazel room for the second time. We've walked past it in both directions now. And then we are turning to 298 to turn back into the room that we came from. Hopefully, if this is well written, this should be the room that we came out of. For fuck's sake! The handle turns and the door opens a little, but it is caught on something and will not open any further. Do you wish to try and force this door to open, or will you leave it and continue along the landing? It's fine. It's part of the fear, part of the horror element of this world is that the room is the house of hell is non-Euclidean, I guess. Wasn't the room we came from the Apuleian room? No, that was the room that the ghost was in. The room we came from just now was the Apuleian room, but the room we started in, the room we woke up in and cut our ropes in, has to have been the Mephisto room. Force it in! Break it in! Let's see if it's our room or not. Turn to page 390. 390. 390. Alright, we're trying to force this door open. You heave the door with your shoulder. The wood creaks and it opens a little further, enough to let you into the room. It is small and bare, and a cold, damp wind swirls through it, billowing the curtains. I should hope so, because it's got a broken window. The window pane is smashed and the floor beneath the window is sodden from the rain. You look around, but there is nothing unusual in the room apart from a frayed length of knotted rope. You may take this with you if you wish and leave. Why is it talking like we don't know what this room is? You may take this with you if you wish and leave. As you pulled the door, you find a piece of glass wedged underneath it, which was making it stick. Don't know how the glass got stuck under it after we left the room, but sure. At least it's taking account for the fact that this is our room. So it's semi like acknowledging that yes, we were in this room, but it's also saying it as if we've got short-term memory loss and we haven't been to this room before. Short-term amnesia because of the wind. Yeah. Oh, the wind whistling in blew a piece of glass under the door. Sure. I'll accept it. Alright, we're going to take a piece of frayed rope. Don't know why that wasn't an option when we cut the rope off of ourselves, but sure. Turn to page 287. Also, why can't we pick up a piece of broken glass and use it as a weapon? We're in a hot house of hell. Alright, turn to page 287, but I'm first going to just go to my character sheet that I can turn to really nice and easily now that I've dog-eared the corners. Equipment. Frayed rope. And broken glass. I'm going to put broken glass in here because I'm the dungeon master. I can make a decision. Why can't we just take the rope with us when we left the first time? But sure, let's take it now. Yeah, the glass is for when you re-enter the room for a third time and forget the room. And you're like, there's broken glass in this room. Do you want to take a piece of broken glass with you? Alright. 287. We take a piece of glass and a frayed rope and we leave the Mephistopheles room, or whatever it was called. 287's before 356, Rob. 287. 287. Fucking hell. 280. There must be lots of short chapters right now. Yeah, there we go. You walk further around the corridor to the two doors in the corner of the balcony. The one on your left is named Balthus. And the one in front of you has no name. Brackets blank. Alright. If you wish to enter the Balthus room, turn to 299. If you'd rather go through the other door, turn to 86. And if you ignore these doors and continue round the landing, turn to 193. This book's logic is Rob's personal hellhouse. We can't now go back to the room we've walked past twice. No, I don't think so. Because that's the way that the book's written. You don't get the choice. You've already ignored the Azazel room twice now. But we've been in 3 of the 6 rooms that we've seen. Alright, what do you guys think? Do we want to go into Balthus? Do we want to go into the unnamed room? Or do we want to continue on round the landing? This is why I bought him this one, and there's another one to come. Yeah, because rage. But the other one that you bought me is from a different publisher, so it might be much different. The nameless one, nameless, unnamed, nameless. All right, people want to go into the nameless room. Balthus and no name. Turn to the other door, 86. We're going to 86. The door opens into a narrow passageway which ends at a window. There is a door There is a door halfway along the left-hand side, and a sign on that door identifies it as the Diabolus room. If you wish to try this door, turn to 13. If you wish to investigate the window instead, turn to 110. If you're not keen to do either and would prefer to go back through the door and continue along the landing, turn to 193. So, the unnamed door led to a window and the Diabolus. Diabolus 2. What do we want to do? I love that this book uses keen. Yeah, if you're not keen to do either and would prefer to go back through the bar. Alright, try the door, try the window, or continue along the corridor. What do you guys think? Let's smash another window! Try the window, door. Try the window, try the door. Try the sweat drop down the Balthus rooms. Balthus. I almost had it. There was something in there, and I almost had it. Door, window, door, window. Amount of doors in this game, horror is too damn high. Continue, door, window. Alright, so we're not continuing, because that's obviously not the thing, but I think the doors have it over the windows. We're going to try the door. We're going to try the Diabolus door. Turn to page 13. Try the window. Try the door. Turn to page 24. You step into the room and close the door behind you. The room is empty and you heave a sigh of relief, falling back against the door to catch your breath. Will you rest in the room or try the window for a means of escape? There's another window in this room as well. So we get the window option again. So do we want to rest or try the window for a means of escape? Let's say rest. Let's say rest or escape, and then we'll end it there, and we'll pick up with the decision next time. Should be a page 666. Is dying an actual outcome in this book? Yeah, absolutely there is. Escape, escape, rest, 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 and then escape, rest, and then escape, rest, and then escape, rest, rest, window, rest. All right, we're gonna try to window or escape. Windows, window, escape. That's window, window, window. Rest, rest, rest. Window, rest, window, rest. Window, rest, rest. Rest is just in the lead there, not by much. Where was I? 13. Will you rest in the room? Turn to 372. 372. Let's see if we actually manage to get some rest. Okay, yeah, not bad. We actually get to rest. You sit on the bed, trying to work out how on earth you can escape from this place. Well, given that you've not tried any means of escape from this place, you know, you could try just any of them. The room you are now in seems safe enough, and the rest refreshes you. Add 2 stamina points. We haven't lost any stamina points. But it's good to know that if we'd slashed our wrists open earlier by accident, we could have just rested it off by sitting on a bed. A few moments later, the wind whistling through the curtains attracts your attention. I love that it heals. So yeah, you slash your wrists and you get 2 stamina points back from a rest, but you don't get your fear back. You don't literally just the biological process that actually happens from you resting to slow down the adrenaline and to get the heart rate settled and things like that, to actually physiologically reduce fear levels. That doesn't happen, but the healing factor of healing your slashed wrist, yeah, that makes sense to sit on a bed. A few months later, the wind whistling through the curtains attracts your attention. You glance over towards the window, turn to 168. So, 168, and that's where we're going to end it. On a cliffhanger of, what is rustling the curtains? Bye!
Oh, damn, it's over already. Oh well, YouTube seems to think that you'd like this video next, so give that one a watch, please.